Thank you, Olive, for all your help. With a little practice, you too could master Dragon Fall.
Really?
With this, Olive Dragon Fu chopped a tree, sending lots of fruit falling down on top of her.
Ouch!
Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive was outside in the rain, right in the middle of a large muddy field. She was wearing a maroon-coloured shirt and was holding an umbrella to keep her dry.
Oh, Bagirk! I'm wearing a sports kit.
There was a goal at each end of the muddy field, and behind one of the goals there was a large tree laden with apples.
Hey, number 7.
Shouted a tall pig with a clipboard.
Hello, I'm Olive.
I'm Sean Curlytail. I coach the Richmond Hockey Hogs.
He said, pointing towards a group of pigs all wearing the same maroon kit as Olive.
And you must be our missing team member.
Oh, how exciting!
Problem is, you're not the only thing missing. Today, I forgot to bring the hockey sticks and hockey balls. We can't play hockey without them.
Olive looked at the big apple tree.
Some apples? My umbrella? I think I may have an idea.
Olive organised the team into a large pyramid with hair at the very top. Olive hooked her umbrella around a branch that had lots of apples hanging down from it. She shook the branch and all the apples fell off it and tumbled to the ground.
Oh, this is all well and good, and apples are very tasty. But how does this help us play hockey?
Well, a hockey ball is small and round like an apple. And a hockey stick is a long, straight stick with a curve on the bottom. A bit like this umbrella.
Oh, brilliant idea, Olive. But to play a game of hockey, we all need a stick.
Excuse me.
Piped up a small pig.
I'm Sophie Swine, the captain of the Hogs. Why don't we have a penalty shootout? We only need one stick for that.
Great idea!
Said Sean, and he quickly organised the competition. Each pig would get one shot on goal using an apple as the ball and Olive's umbrella as the hockey stick. Sophie Swine volunteered to play in goal. Everyone took turns to shoot. Some shot too high, some shot too low. But every time, Sophie would get in the way of the apple ball and eat it, stopping it going into the goal. For one shot, she even did a backward somersault, landing on her feet and gobbling up the apple.
Well, you're the last player, Olive. No one has managed to get a goal yet. So if you score a goal now, then you're the winner.
Olive took a long run up and swung for the apple ball. But the pitch was so wet, she slipped. Her shot had lost all of its power. Olive watched as the ball rolled slowly towards the line. But instead of saving the apple ball by eating it, Sophie simply let it roll through her legs and into the goal.
Goal!
Shouted Sean.
Olive's the winner!
The other pigs cheered and lifted Olive high into the air.
Bagirk! I'm glad I won. Sophie, why didn't you save my shot?
Sorry, I would have done, but my tummy's too full of apples.
Said Sophie before letting out a huge burp. They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Bagirk, actually, I've been playing a wonderful game of hockey.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. She popped up somewhere new. Olive found herself in a room with shelves and worktops piled high with mounds of dust. She was wearing an apron decorated with pictures of violins, cellos and bassoons.
Bagirk, this place could do with a spot of dusting.
Just then, 2 smiling woodworms popped their head out of a dust pile.
Oh, hello.
Said Olive. The woodworms vanished before popping up from another dust pile.
My, you're both quick on your feet. I mean, tummies.
Before either worm had a chance to reply, whoosh! A large net fell over them, sending clouds of dust up into the air. The dust made Olive cough.
Did I get them? Yeah. No. Ah! Missed them again.
As the dust cleared, she found herself face to face with a tall wolf wearing an apron just like hers.
Hello. I am Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, instrument maker to the king. This is my workshop.
I'm Olive. Nice to meet you, Wolfgang. But, I don't see any instruments.
This was a cello. This was a violin. And this was a bassoon to be played at the king's birthday concert tonight.
Oh, I don't think you'll get much sound out of those instruments.
This I know. It's those woodworm. As soon as I make any instrument from wood, they eat it. See? If I don't make the bassoon for the king's birthday concert tonight, he will be very upset. You must help me, Olive.
Olive thought hard.
Well, if the woodworm only like to eat wood, maybe you could make a bassoon out of something else.
But what?
Olive looked around at things in the workshop.
A vacuum cleaner, a bicycle pump. I think I may have an idea.
With Wolfgang's help, Olive used the vacuum cleaner's bendy pipe to form the body of the bassoon. Then they used the top of the bicycle pump as its mouthpiece.
Finished!
Now to see how it sounds, yeah?
Wolfgang placed his lips to the bicycle pump mouthpiece and blow.
Is that how a bassoon is supposed to sound, Wolfgang?
Wolfgang stopped playing and shook his head.
No, that sounded terrible.
Just then, Olive remembered how the woodworm had reacted to the sound.
Those greedy woodworm didn't like the noise the bassoon made either. Wolfgang, you start to make your new wooden bassoon for the king's birthday concert. I think I know how I can keep those woodworm away.
Olive blew into the bassoon as she marched up and down. The woodworm couldn't stand the noise, and soon they wiggled away. And at last, Wolfgang finished making what would be his finest wooden bassoon.
Ah, perfect. Thank you, Olive. Without your help, the concert would have been a disaster. Would you like to come as my guest?
I think I've heard enough bassoons for one day, thank you.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to somewhere new. She could hear some tinkly music. It was coming from a little white van that was parked nearby, and Olive could see all sorts of things inside the van.
Oh, those look tasty.
Exclaimed Olive. Olive was wearing a white overall and a special paper hat. She could hear strange grunts coming from inside the van.
Hello? Are you all right?
Asked Olive, and she reached in through the window to help. Up popped a very cold lady.
Thanks.
Shivered the lady.
I'm Millie Vanilla.
I'm Olive. Pleased to meet you. Oh, you're cold. You need to warm up.
Oh, no. If I do that, my ice cream will melt, and I need it for a birthday party.
Ice cream?
Yes, it's a very tasty treat, and I don't want to boast, but my ice cream is the very best.
She reached into the freezer and scooped some ice cream into a cornet for Olive to taste.
I add a secret ingredient.
Whispered Millie. And she stuck a stick of chocolate on top. Olive licked the ice cream.
It's very tasty.
Like I said, the very best. Now I mustn't be late for the party. Would you like to help me?
Oh, yes, please.
Olive jumped into the van and they drove off. They were nearly there when Olive heard a bang. The van stopped with such a bump that all the chocolate sticks fell out of the window. Olive and Millie got out to see what was wrong. One of the tyres was completely flat.
All the air's leaked out.
But Millie was more worried about the big brown puddle on the ground.
What's worse, all my chocolate sticks have melted in the sun. What am I going to do?
At least we still have the ice cream.
But how can I get to the party with a hole in my tyre?
Olive looked through the ice cream van window and saw the cornets and cherries.
Cornets? Cherries? I think I may have an idea.
She bit the end off a cornet and stuck it in the hole in the tyre. Then she scooped up the melted chocolate and poured it in through the hole. When the tyre was full, Olive plugged the hole with a cherry.
Oh, good as new. Thanks, Olive.
And so, with the tyre fixed, they drove to the party. The children cheered as Olive and Millie handed out ice cream cornets, but the birthday boy looked puzzled.
Where's my chocolate stick?
He asked. Millie began to sniffle.
He only likes ice cream with a chocolate stick stuck in it.
Well, never mind.
Olive told the boy.
This is the very best ice cream.
Not without the chocolate stick, it isn't.
He noticed the mended tyre.
Hey, if I can't have a chocolate stick, can I have that cherry?
Oh, not that one.
Cried Olive. But before Olive could stop him, the boy pulled the cherry out of the tyre. Chocolate sprayed out of the hole, splashing everyone and everything,
Oh,
said Olive. But then she heard the birthday boy laughing.
Hey, this chocolate tastes amazing. In fact, this is the very best chocolate in the world.
Surprised, Olive and Millie tasted their ice creams. Yum!
Yum!
I don't want to boast, but he's right.
Boasted Millie.
Which makes this the very best ice cream in the world.
Everyone laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it popped up somewhere new. Olive could see a big sloping ramp in front of her and hundreds of empty seats all around.
Oh, I wonder what this slopey thing is for.
Olive heard a strange buzzing noise.
Oh,
A man on a motorbike was flying through the air towards her. He had to swerve to miss Olive and crashed into a pile of tyres.
oh, are you all right?
I think so.
The motorbike rider was wearing a sparkly cloak and a helmet.
My name's Darren. Daredevil Darren. I'm the world's greatest stunt rider.
Nice to meet you, Darren. I'm Olive. Sorry for knocking you off your motorbike. I didn't see you coming.
That's all right. I was just practicing a jump for my show tonight. There are hundreds of my fans coming. Ouch! But I think I've hurt my hand, and I can't steer my motorbike if my hand hurts.
Well, maybe I could do the jump for you.
But my fans have come to see Daredevil Darren. I can't let them down.
Olive spotted a store selling Daredevil Darren souvenirs.
A helmet? A cloak? I think I may have an idea. I'll hide under this cloak and steer the bike, and you can sit on my back. The audience will think you're doing the jump on your own.
Darren thought it was a great plan.
What can possibly go wrong?
It was time for the big jump. The crowd were cheering for Daredevil Darren. Olive was hiding under Darren's cloak. The crowd counted them down.
3, 2, 1, go!
Olive hit the pedal, and they were off. Olive and Darren sped towards the jump. But then the motorbike wobbled, and the cloak got tangled in the back wheel. And Darren was pulled off the bike.
This is a goal!
Cried Olive. The crowd weren't happy when they saw Olive was riding the bike and not Darren. Olive screamed as she flew off the end of the ramp. She jumped high in the air and crashed into a banner. She was flung through a ring of fire, over a tank of snapping crocodiles, and then over a double-decker bus. Olive somersaulted 3 more times on the bike before landing safely on the ramp.
That was a close one.
Oh, that was amazing.
Darren exclaimed.
Listen, the crowd love you.
Really?
Olive replied. The crowd thought Olive's bike stunt was brilliant,
I'm just glad to have my feet back on the ground.
said Olive.
I don't think flying's for me.
Olive and Darren waved to the audience and laughed. And as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I rode a stunt bike with Daredevil Darren.
Your head's been in the sun too long, dear.
said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. She popped up somewhere new. It was a wet and grey autumn day, and Olive jumped out of a big pile of leaves. She was wearing a pair of green Wellington boots and a big yellow raincoat. Olive looked around and realised she was in an impressive garden.
This garden must belong to someone very special.
She was standing near a little shed. Next to the shed leaned an old tandem bike and some planks of wood. The shed door opened and out walked a badger.
Careful there, lassie. I've been tidying leaves to make the garden respectable before the Queen arrives to stay in her castle for the winter. She'll be here soon. It's going to be hard enough to finish in time without having you spread the leaves all over the place again.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm Olive. Maybe I could give you a hand tidying the leaves.
Oh, well, thank you. You're an angel, dear. I'm Frank McBadger. I'm Her Majesty the Queen's personal gardener. We'll use these rakes to tidy the leaves up into one big pile.
Olive and Frank got to work. They raced against the clock to finish before the Queen arrived. It was hard work, but eventually all the leaves were in one huge pile.
Oh, thank you, Olive. Job well done.
But as they stood admiring their work, a big gust of wind blew the pile of leaves all over the garden again.
Oh, no, we're doomed,
cried Frank.
There's no time to tidy the leaves up again before the Queen arrives.
Olive looked around the garden.
An old tandem bike, some planks. I think I may have an idea.
Olive took 3 planks and put them together in a star shape. Then she attached them to the old tandem bike, where the missing back wheel used to be.
Ooh. Come on, Frank. Let's get on the tandem and start pedalling.
Frank was puzzled, but he sat down behind Olive on the tandem bike. They both started pedalling.
Faster, Frank, faster!
Olive and Frank's feet were spinning faster than they had ever done before, and it made the planks of wood spin around like a huge fan. This blew all the leaves in the garden high up into the air.
It's working, Olive. We're tidying up the leaves,
cried Frank. But Olive and Frank couldn't believe it. All the leaves had landed on top of the castle, almost burying it.
Egg! We didn't want that to happen.
Oh, no. Here comes Her Majesty.
What's been going on here, then?
asked the Queen.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Your Majesty. She doesn't look happy.
He whispered to Olive.
Frank, this is marvellous, splendid, fabulous.
It is?
Said Olive, confused.
Oh, yes. Last winter, this old castle was freezing cold. What a splendid idea to use all the autumn leaves to keep the castle nice and warm.
Oh, well, don't thank me. Thank Olive here, Your Majesty. It was all her idea.
Oh, I see. Well done, Olive.
Olive curtsied before the Queen.
Why, thank you, Your Majesty. But it's probably time for me to leave.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.